It looks like the gender transition for kids stuff is basically over. It's over. We won. The New York Times, the ideological compass of the party organ of the Western liberal world, is now ringing the bell for the very movement it once championed. The American Medical Association is backpedaling. A jury just awarded $2 million to a survivor of this barbarism. I like that word. The wall of consensus is crumbling, and now everyone can see the bricks were hollow. That's a good one. I like that. That's a very good one. I'm going to follow this guy. And anyway, Towers do a video about New Jersey got taken down. I know that, and then his Patreon got canceled. And so anyway, medical associations trusted belief over science on youth gender care. Gentlemen, it's obvious. It's been obvious. Everybody that wasn't retarded knew this. But for some reason, some people out there were like, well, no, not necessarily. Well, if you look at them, they're the experts. And, you know, these people, they have a degree in this. And there's no way that all these people that have college degrees just got together and are fucking retarded. There's no way that could happen. And so, anyway, I've had to deal and listen with this bullshit for fucking years, right? And this is the problem is that, and here's the other big issue is that a lot of people, and here we have this one too. This is what I was looking for. And guess he's back in. Yes, exactly. Our Cheezer allegation is true. I don't even know who Cheezer is. I mean, I do know who Cheezer is. He's a kick streamer, but I don't know even what the allegations are. And anyway, so I think that we need to realize here's something that I feel like we need to just come to a acceptance on. 99% of soft science, if you wiped history clean, would never be reinvented even remotely the same as it is now. Every single piece of hard science, if you wiped history clean and you started clean slate, would be recreated exactly the same as it is now. It's because one of them is real and the other one really isn't. They're just generalities. It's important to keep that in mind. We wouldn't be reinventing this stuff if we, reset civilization or history at all. The science can't be replicated. Yeah, because there is no science. So there have been a lot of people who are, cosplaying as scientists who are, pretending like their positions on these topics were legitimate because they had a degree. Now, a lot of people, and this is a problem, is that a lot of stupid Redditors, especially, and people with a Reddit mentality, like those people, the moment that they hear a person in a lab coat tell them what's right, they just blindly follow it because, again, they have this obsession with reaffirming authority. And they think that authority can never be wrong, authority can never be misused, authority can never be misled, and authority can never be held by a person with bad intentions. And so it's midwit. Yeah, it's a midwit mentality, right? Because, like, really stupid people are like, well, you can't give me that vaccine. What if it's got, like, a tracker in it? What if it got that? Well, I don't know what it does. Like, you just came up with that? Didn't it take a long time like polio? And then you got the smart people that are like, well, I don't want to take it yet. I'm not sure what the long-term effects are. I mean, who knows? I want to, I'm healthy. I'm just going to take other best practices. And both sides is one of those things where really dumb people and smart people, I think, come to the same consensus, whereas, people that are in the middle get misled. And I think that's generally what happens, right? And I think, yeah, the bell curve, exactly, yeah. And is there there is a replicability. I've never said that word before. There's a replicability crisis currently in psychology, further boosting your point. Well, that's because the majority of psychology is fan fiction. That's the reason why. And, these people, they invent, basically, here's what happens, is that a council of Karens gets together with fake degrees, and they agree with each other about the way that things are. And then they write a book, and they quote each other, and then they turn that into the way that things are. This is what's been going on for the last 50 years. It is. And so as soon as you realize that's what's been happening, you can take a step back and see, oh, okay, wait a minute, this is all just bullshit. Wrong idiot. No, I actually, you know what? Listen, we have a lot of things to go over today. And well, let's see here if I can. Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, I'm just gonna ban this person. We could get in an argument, but we're a little bit too early for that. So modern journalism does the same thing. They create a false consensus, and this is the main problem that happens with almost everything, right? Is that a false consensus is generated with almost every topic. And what happens is that people basically say something and then somebody else says something and then they cross-reference each other and then they create a established reality of that thing, and then other people, talk about that thing as if it was real. But really, it's just two idiots agreeing with each other. That's really about it. So anyway, I don't want to go too far into that. I just want to say, like right here, the science doesn't seem so settled after all. And it's important to understand what happened here. The approach of left-of-center Americans and our institutions to assume that when a scientific organization releases a policy statement on a hot button issue, that the policy statement must be accurate is deeply naive to understanding of science, human nature, and politics and how they interact. This is actually one of the most based articles. This is amazing. I am so happy to see this. And you're seeing a lot of people that are angry about this too, right? Because now, now we're seeing people finally, there's like they're breaking the conditioning, right? I think that's generally what's happening more than anything. This is a 9/11 to trust the science crowd. Well, this is what I was saying, right? Is that like trust the science? How can you trust the science if you think men should compete against women in sports, right? I mean, you obviously don't care about science. If you did, you wouldn't be saying that. Like, no reasonable, rational person thinks that men should be competing against women in sports, right? Like, the only people that say that are people that are afraid of blowback and also people that are retarded. That's literally it. Now, here's what we need to do next. Now that we've established that the youth gender care and, sex changes for children, and people saying this didn't happen, here's the numbers of how many of them it happened with. Here we go. Let's listen to it.
And the statistics are just staggering. 5,747 children underwent.
5,000 people. 5,747 children.
Surgical mutilation, according to the Stop the Harm database. 13,994 minors underwent sex change treatments. 8,579 received hormones and puberty blockers. More than 62,000 sex change prescriptions written for children.
Wow.
I mean, it's just staggering, Congressman.
It is truly medicalized child abuse. And people sometimes ask, where were the parents? Mm-hmm. Well, I think many children will tell you this story, and I think Chloe would tell you this story, that many times parents were coerced. They were told that if they don't go along with transitioning their kids,
they might lose custody of their kids.
Their child will commit suicide. Would you rather have a live son?
Oh yeah, there's that too.
Or a dead daughter. I can think of nothing more inappropriate, nothing more unethical than that kind of coercion.
Yep, and it was all built on a lie. So here's what has to happen, okay? Is that now that we've established that this is happening, and we know the people that it's happened to, every medical procedure has documentation. Every single surgeon, every doctor, every person that pushed this on children needs to be held accountable. And they need to be held criminally accountable. Because this is what these people did. You have to put them in jail. And retroactively, everybody knew this was wrong. We all knew this was wrong. There's nobody out there that thinks that, oh, well, we weren't really sure about this. It could have gone either way. Every rational, normal person that's like the Nuremberg trials. And these people are nowhere near Nazis. Don't get this wrong. But it's the concept of, I was just following orders. That's nice. No, turn around and face the wall. I don't think we should shoot him. But I think it should be really bad. I think that it should be so bad for these people that there is a page of this in the history book that is discussed in 100 years. That's my outlook on it. I think we need to go that far. And if we go that far, it's not going to happen again. 2 to 3 years Dagestan? Yeah, exactly, right? That should have been the real solution. And so lose their license? No, we can't lose their license, and then they go on a book tour talking about how they're a fucking victim. Oh, no. You want to be a victim? Good. We'll make you earn it. I think you go to prison. All of these people, send these fucking people to prison, send them to prison, charge them with other types of child molestation, and then let the prisoners there deal with them, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We all know what's going to happen, and it's going to be great. And that's it. And so anyway, crucify them literally? Well, we won't need to. We can outsource that to the prisoners that are already there. And this data only goes up to 2023. Yeah, it probably was worse in 2024. And how would you go that far? What's the appropriate punishment in your eyes? I would look at what is the crime of, you know, like mutilating a kid. What can you charge somebody like that with? What is like grooming? What is like, you know, giving kids like, you know, like sexual, you know, any sort of like, what are the crimes and the charges that and you could always invent a new one too, by the way. So like, there's also the possibility that you just invent a new law and then you just apply that to them retroactively. It's pretty simple. And so stick cut, yeah, you're not seeing the whole picture here. I unfortunately, I think I am. And so yeah, really, that's what I would say. I don't think you can charge them retroactively. Why not? Who decided that you can't do that? What do you mean you can't? Again, you just do it. Like, there's no, like, again, people not really thinking about this the right way. What do you mean that you can't do something? Of course you can do anything you want. So, yeah, charge them as pedos, maybe, right? And throw the parents in jail, too. Throw the parents in jail. I actually have more empathy for the parents than I do for the doctors and the medical professionals. And let me explain the reason why. I think that there are instances where, like, for example, if any of these things were done to a person under the age of 12, I think that, you know, like, consequences for the parents should absolutely be on the table. But I think that also you need to think about it from, like, another perspective, which is the parents weren't really the medical professionals. They had no obligation to be informed, educated, and understand the nature of, you know, biology. And so whenever they go to an expert and the expert tells them to do something, they are paying that expert for their expertise. So when the expert with that expertise misuses that, and then they say it's okay, I think the primary focus should be on them. And again, I'm not saying that, you know, none of the parents, right? But I'm saying that all of the doctors and some of the parents. Is that reasonable? I think it's reasonable. And so anyway, they got spawn camped? Yeah, exactly. See Rupert Lowe's tweets describing undesirable migrants as orcs, saying he'd purge them from the Shire. Did I see Rupert Lowe's tweet that he would purge the orcs from the Shire? Yes, I did. I did. He called them orcs. I saw it. I mean, again, guys. Whoa! I love to see it. I love to hear it, man. Me not that kind of orc. It's a different kind of orc, right? And so anyway, yeah, absolutely. People like you created these problems because you refused to play WoW. I did. And the reason why I refused to play WoW is the people that that caused these other problems came into WoW and they caused this issue for me. That, like, I would have been a happy boy. I'd probably still be, I'd probably still be farming achievements, playing World of Warcraft, but they had to make the game for chicks. They did. They had to make the game for girls and weirdos and sissy boys, right? I mean, like, yeah, everything was totally fine. There were no issues at all. And then they ruined it. They ruined it. Yeah, John Wick lost his dog. You lost WoW. I did. I lost WoW. Like, everything in Warlords of Draenor, everything was great. In Wrath of the Lich King, everything was great. Then, after Legion, things got bad. Even during Legion, things began to get bad. But really, after that was the real problem, right? They took my WoW. Gamergate's what woke me up to this. Yeah, well, it's because really, I think that a lot of people, this is the outlook that a lot of people had. And this is at least my outlook. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, is that like, from my perspective, I don't really care what's going on in a lot of political stuff, right? In like a general, like on a personal sense, really. Like, I care about it, but like, if I can just go and play video games, I can avoid these topics and I can just focus on something that I would rather do. Like, most days when I take the day off, yeah, I'll think about politics, I'll be involved with it, but I'm not going to like really care about it in the same way that, you know, like, let's say, you know, somebody that actually gets involved in it is. And so the problem is that, you know, these people, they took their politics and they put them inside of games. They put them inside of media. They put them inside of stories. And they said, you can't escape. You can't get away from us. You thought that you could have your safe space? Well, it's not safe anymore. Now we're here too, and we're going to change your characters. We're going to make characters gay. We're going to add in transgender characters. We're going to make one-dimensional, you know, like fucking, what do you call it? Like fucking disabled people in video games, like Khadgar in a wheelchair. And they've put this bullshit in video games. We're going to take away male and female. We're going to put body type 1 and 2. No, you're not. That's enough. Okay, that's it. We're done. I'm done. Absolutely not. And now I think that there are a lot of young guys who were able to escape into video games to avoid the annoying people like that in the world. But then the annoying people in the world that you're escaping from made their way into video games. And they started making the video games. And now we have to, you know, we have to deport every single migrant. That's just what happens. We have to take away people's citizenship. We have to put people in jail and by the millions. This is just what happened. And none of this ever had to happen. I want to make this very clear. None of this ever had to happen. If you had just left people like me alone, we would have never done this. Everything was totally fine. Everything was okay. But now, containment has been breached. And you've got a million fucking chuds that are like, well, what do you mean I can't have a girl with big tits in my game? What the fuck? They're like, you know what? Yeah, I don't like any of them either. Get them the fuck out of here. What the hell are they doing in my country? What the hell you mean you think? Oh, you want to change gender, huh? Not anymore. And that's it. The woke's dug too deep. Exactly. And so this is, and I think that we should embrace this. We have all been conscripted into this conflict. And I think none of us really wanted to be a part of it. And on the days that I take off, I didn't even watch the State of the Union. I didn't even watch it. I was jerking off and playing video games. But I do want you guys to see this with these gender transitions, because you remember how many people said that nobody is transing kids, nobody is having kids going under, sex changes. 62,000 kids for sex change hormones were given to children. This has to stop, and there has to be accountability for the doctors that did it. And I think that now, after that first case was won from that detransitioner, now you're going to start seeing this happen a lot more. And you also have, very clearly, Reddit is not happy. So total detransitioner death. There is a huge issue that I think the trans community has with the fixation around killing people. There is an obvious and deliberate fixation that a small subset of the trans community has around any type of a disagreement is, let's kill these people. How many trans memes have you seen that the punchline is that somebody gets killed? I actually saw a joke about this. Here we go. Let's take a look at it. So this is the clip. This is the original clip. Then we're going to watch the context.
I think we should start killing kids until they let us use whatever bathroom they want. I think we should.
So people said, no, guys, it's out of context. Let's hear the context.
I think that's true. I think that we've experienced the last handful of years where trans people have tried to get our acceptance by being nice, being accessible, being the kind of person that you would be comfortable with,
Yes.
babysitting your kids or whatever.
Let us near your kids or we're going to kill you. Y'all need to get this shit out of your... If you're a normal trans person, you need to get these freaks out of your community. You do. There needs to be more trans people that openly say, this person is a fucking idiot, this person is a psycho, and they do not represent me or the community. Normal trans? Yeah, I mean, listen, even if you think trans isn't normal, just being trans and being this, that's a huge fucking difference, isn't it? That's a massive fucking difference. Like, there's people that just want to dress up and pretend to be another fucking gender, and then there's people that want to do that, and if you disagree with them, they want to kill all the kids. That's a big fucking difference, guys. Huge fucking difference.
I think we should start killing kids
This is the logic.
until they let us use whatever bathroom they want.
Wow.
Are there any cis people here? Would you raise your hand, please? Hey, sir, how many kids would you kill for trans rights?
Uh-huh.
Hundreds. Give it up for him, everybody.
Man, how about that? And so anyway, this is their joke. Yeah, and there have been so many instances of these people doing this. Total detransition or death. Female to male to female detransitioners are some of the weakest, stupidest people that have ever existed. I despise them deeply for their cowardice that oozes out of every single one of them. Because of people like them, trans boys aren't getting proper health care so that female puberty doesn't deform them. I hate cis people because they are hateful and evil. So... I just got finished injecting... Oh, here we go. I just got finished injecting gray market testosterone into my thigh after I bought, with needles that I bought with my own money, right after being dropped off in my dorm by my extremely transphobic father, whom I'm hiding my transition from. Do cis people think that we do shit like this because we find it funny? That we should be forced off of the hormones and then we'll be fine? That we're addicts or something like that? They're demented and I hate them. This woman should have lost all of her money and they should have filed bankruptcy to deal with it. That's what you get for being an idiot. So there you go, guys. And so these people are clowns. Exactly. The gray market government. Well, I have no idea. This is a person who's mentally ill. This is a retard. And so the problem is that a lot of these people have been enabled by society. And this is the result of that enabling. So here we go. American self-identification as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, something other than heterosexual. It has gone down for the first time in over 10 years. So you're starting to see a lot of people like, and this is the reason why, is that I think it's very obvious that, like, there are two things that are true. Number one is that a lot of people didn't identify as being part of LGBT because of the negative social stigma that it had at one time. But I think that also on the other side of that, there are other people that identify as LGBT because it has a positive social stigma or a positive social connotation now. So what you're seeing now is people that identify this way because they think that, you know, it'll get people to say that they're brave or that they're good people or some other variation of that. It's trendy. That's right. It's trendy. And so that's what's happened. It's sad they put transgender and homosexual in the same group. Don't compare these people to retards. Retards don't force sex change, kids to sex change. Yeah, I know that. But anyway, so this is it. Americans' views on being gay or lesbian from 1977 to 2025. And you see right here, things were great. Everything was great for gay people. People were very positive about it. And now I think that you're starting to see more and more people realizing that, like, oh, this isn't the case. And why is that happening? The reason why it's happening is that you have freak, degenerate retards like this that need to be locked up in a mental institution in a padded room in a straitjacket and fed through a tube. And you have people like this that are making jokes about killing kids until people tell them that they're a real girl. This person needs to get locked up. That's what needs to happen. Like, there's no way that a civilized society can exist with animals like this running around. It's impossible to do. Like, you can't have both. Like, you might think that you can't, because they will ruin it. And so that's it. And also keep in mind that this is the compassionate solution. On most of the world, if they hear this, they throw you off a fucking roof. So you should probably be counting your blessings that, you know, I'm not advocating for that, because that's what happens in most of the world. And so anyway, it's like Homer Simpson address. Well, it's fucking ridiculous. And also, it doesn't matter. Again, if you want to live your own life and do what you want, that's totally fine. But the moment that you create a culture around normalizing violence towards people for not accepting what you do, now I think that you've crossed over into another threshold. And that's really the main issue. And you cause road damage? Yeah, sure, right? And yeah, you watching State of the Union address? Well, I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but I'll watch part of it, absolutely. And so, yeah, if they accomplish this change, they won't stop at that? Well, of course they never will. Absolutely not. And I bet a lot of people that identify as LGBTQ just to get DEI quota, and now that DEI is not being pushed, that you'll see a drop. Oh, I think that you're absolutely right about that. I think that the majority of people that do stuff like this are, you know, again, they're doing it to be trendy. And I think that's the reason why a lot of, like, you know, for example, like the Munchausen by proxies type stuff. Like every single time that I see like a 7-year-old trans person, like a trans kid, the odds are that, you know who's with them? The mother. The mother is with them, and they use their kids effectively as social currency. They, you know, like have their kids go through transition so they can feel like they're part of this community, and they're, you know, like it's like a virtuous thing for them. It's the mother, exactly. And so, yeah, just remember, healthcare means cutting off dicks and leaving alone kids. Yes, definitely. 7-year-old trans? Are you fucking kidding me? So there was one yesterday that we saw, and the parent said that they knew the kid was trans before the kid knew that they were trans. And so that's it. And what is this?
Please ask for the science-based regimens, not whatever RFK Jr. is getting kickbacks on, or, you know, whatever whole milk, white supremacy, dog whistling that's happening right now. I'm getting a little
say the buzzwords. Say the buzzwords, bozo. Say them.
Science-based regimens, not
oh
whatever.
My God. Yep, there it is. It's, yes, whole milk is now white supremacy, guys. Can you believe that? Oh my fucking God. It's called Munchausen syndrome or proxy to it this time. Yeah, I think that the reason why these people have a lot of trans kids is Munchausen by proxy. I think that's it. And doesn't Megan Fox have 3 to 4 trans kids? Yeah, she does. And so I wonder why. And it's pretty fucking obvious.